Mehmed's goal was his second in the Premier League after scoring in the 3-1 win over West Brom. Brighton edged out Newcastle United to record their second successive home Premier League victory. The hosts scored when Pascal Gross' free kick was headed back across goal by Dale Stephens and Mehmed hooked the ball in from 6 yards out. Newcastle, who had won their past 3 league matches, had chances, but Mikel Merino's volley was pushed wide by Matt Ryan. Joselu twice missed when well placed, and substitute Jonjo Shelvey hit a post direct from a corner. Victory lifted the Seagulls to 13th in the table, while Newcastle dropped to 9th. Relive Brighton v Newcastle as it happened. Brighton hang on. Newcastle had more possession, more shots and more attempts on target, but Rafael Benitez's side could not force an equaliser. Substitutes Jesus Games and Dwight Gale had efforts late on, but the former shot wide and the latter's attempt was saved by Ryan. Newcastle, buoyed by the 68th minute arrival of England midfielder Shelvey, forced several corners as they piled on the pressure, but they could not get past a Brighton defence in which Lewis Dunk, Stephens and Bruno excelled. Watched by an Amex Stadium record crowd of 30,468, Chris Hughton's team claimed their second victory of the season following the 3-1 success over West Brom on the 9th of September. There was some wayward shooting from both sides in the first half, with Brighton's Anthony Knockaert 11 and Newcastle's Ios Perez 17 both finding the corner flag. Steady starts for promoted pair. This was a meeting of the teams who finished in the top 2 spots in the Championship last season, with Newcastle winning the title by 1 point on the final day. Both teams will be pleased with how they have performed in the opening 6 games at the higher level. Brighton have 7 points, 2 fewer than Newcastle, who have won 3 and lost 3, although Magpies boss Benitez will feel this was a missed opportunity. In only the second minute, Merino's shot from outside the area brought a good save from Ryan, and Joselu, who joined in a £5 million move from Stoke in August twice, should have done better but poked wide from 6 yards out, then glanced a header off target. After Brighton took the lead in the 51st minute, they had a chance to double their advantage, but Newcastle goalkeeper Rob Elliott produced a fine save to deny Solly March. The away side dominated from that point on, but Benitez's side was frustrated by a robust Brighton defence. Mbemba fouled for Brighton goal. Benitez an illegal block. Benitez was unhappy with the Brighton goal, feeling Chancellor Mbemba was fouled and referee Andre Mariner should have penalised the home side. "It was a block, an illegal block," said the Spaniard. "You cannot argue too much, but it is very difficult to understand some things. They push my players. I am not happy with the way we conceded. At the end we had the control. Credit to them because they did well in the first half. We passed the ball a little better, they were defending more because they were winning. I was happy before the game and not so happy after the game. It is a long way to go, so we have to keep going and keep improving." Hughton pleased with balance. Brighton. Hughton plays down Hemd incident. Newcastle players were unhappy with an 89th-minute incident during which they claimed Hemd had stamped on the ankle of DeAndre Yedlin. Hughton defended his player and said any contact would have been accidental. "My very first impression is there was no intent," said the former Newcastle manager. "There has been contact, but my first impression is no intent, and knowing the individual I would say no intent." A second successive victory at the Amex Stadium is a significant boost for the league's newcomers, and Hughton believes it is important for his players to believe they belong among the elite of the English game. "Psychologically it's important for us," added the former Tottenham defender. "We'll go into the Arsenal game the way we go into every game, looking for a result. But we know it'll be tougher. Anything you can get from that is a bonus. If we do things well and to the best of our abilities, we can compete with a group of teams. But we have to play at a good enough level to do that." Man of the match Mehmed. Brighton. Mehmed had 2 of Brighton's 3 shots on target and scored the only goal. He shows his quality stats. Brighton have won back-to-back home league games in the top flight for the first time since November 1982. Mehmed has been involved in 3 goals in his last 2 home Premier League games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Mehmed's last 6 league goals for the Seagulls have all been scored at the Amex. Hemd has had a hand in 20 goals in his last 23 league starts at the Amex for Brighton. 15 goals, 5 assists. Newcastle have lost 22 of the last 24 away Premier League games in which they've conceded the first goal, won 1, drew 1. Rafael Benitez has lost each of his last 4 Premier League matches against newly promoted sides, having lost only 2 of the first 40. The 3 matches in which Brighton have avoided defeat this season have come against sides starting that day in the top 7: 0-0 v Watford 4th, 31 v West Brom 5th and 10 v Newcastle 7th. Newcastle have now lost the last 3 away Premier League games in which they've attempted at least 17 shots. Also Sunderland in October 2015-21, lost 30, and QPR in May 2015-22, lost 21. What's next? Both teams next play in the Premier League on Sunday 1 October, with Brighton away at Arsenal 1200 BST, while Newcastle play Liverpool at home 1630 BST.